What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing today? I hope you're excited because today we got another top 5 Young Guns video. Yes, we'll be going over the top 5 trending Young Guns for the month of July. Now that free agency's wrapped up, things are starting to die down in the hockey world. Most of the big names are off the market. The draft's done, the cup's been awarded, and yeah, we're heading into the offseason. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Young Guns rise and fall over the summer heading into the next NHL season. I'm excited for next NHL season. But before we get started with the top 5 Young Guns trending currently in July, as per usual, this is not financial advice. Please invest in sport cards at your own risk. This is also, all the graphs are courtesy of Sport Card Investor and will be in US dollars for PSA 10 Young Guns. And yeah, without further ado, let's kick this list off with number 5. Our kicking our list off here on number 5 is going to be someone that I was kind of surprised is trending. It's Charlie McAvoy of the Boston Bruins. His Young Guns is currently trending upwards, and I'm not quite sure why. I think it's going to be harder to find trending Young Guns for these summer months because there's simply just no hockey being played, and it's simply off speculation. McAvoy is a big-time fan favorite, the Boston Bruins fan base, so maybe that's the reason why he's trending. And he's coming off his best season in the NHL, and honestly, with Boston making these big moves in the offseason, that probably helps it as well. Going out, trading away Linus Ullmark for Jonas Korpisalo to get some cap space, to bring in a guy like Elias Lindholm. A lot of people hate on Elias Lindholm, but I actually think he's a really good player. Going not that game breaker. He's not like a superstar or anything. He's just like a really reliable two-way guy that he's going to be around a point per game every season. And yeah, I really like Elias Lindholm, so I think that's a great ad for the Bruins. McAvoy's coming off one of his best seasons, at least in my opinion. Might not have been his best offensive season, but with 47 points in 74 games, he is just an absolute rock on this Bruins D line. Now, I don't know if this Young Guns has a lot of room to go up further. I don't really see that. I think Charlie McAvoy's price is kind of capped in unless the Bruins would go on to win a Stanley Cup or something crazy like that. I just don't think they're really ready for that. They have a very good winning culture, and they're always competitive. They're always in the playoffs, but I just don't think they're a true cup contender similar to last year. Now, when I looked at this graph, I immediately looked and I'm like, it's probably just a spike sale, and honestly, it probably is just a spike sale, but I need to put somebody at number 5 on this list. I was having a rough time this month. As you can see, about a month ago, one sold for 78 US, one recently sold for about 100 US, so that is a pretty good increase from the last, but it is possible it's just a spike sale. I don't really expect McAvoy's Young Guns to really trend upwards next season, at all, unless he's really in that Norris conversation. He has an insane offensive season where he's a point per game or something. I guess that's in the range of outcomes. I just think it's very unlikely, and I would probably stay away from McAvoy. All right, up next, number 4 is someone I think is a lot more interesting heading into next season than Charlie McAvoy, if things go right for him. It's Devon Levi of the Buffalo Sabres. His Young Guns is currently trending, and I'm interested to see what happens with Buffalo's goaltending situation. They bring in a guy like James Reimer, who's a vet ad, and you got to think he's going to be playing NHL time. But then you also got 2 young goaltenders with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Devon Levi. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen played the majority of games up with the club last season, while Devon Levi was sent down to play in Rochester. Now, is that the same heading into next season? I'm not quite sure. Maybe Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen struggles out of the gate. If Devon Levi gets more time, maybe people are projecting that. I think Devon Levi is definitely their guy for the future. I just don't know if he's ready to take that role just yet, but I think people are pricing in that he could definitely break out next season, and that's why his Young Guns is trending right now. Now, I feel like I've been saying this for 5 years. If Buffalo could somehow get in the playoffs, I think their cards would go crazy because Buffalo fans are hardcore. I'm from the area. I've been a lot of the Sabres games, and they got a hardcore following. If only they could be competitive, I really think some of these cards could skyrocket. And Devon Levi, if he could become their starting goaltender full time, I think he's got lots of potential to grow in the card market. It's just, I think there's a lot of competition right now, and it's probably unlikely for next season, considering Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and James Reimer, I think right now are ahead of him. Now, of course, if one of them struggle, I think they're not going to take long to go right to Devon Levi. I just think out of the 3, he's at the bottom right now. I think that could change at a moment's notice, though. I think it's a very fluctuant situation, and I think a guy like James Reimer could help Devon Levi, a vet that's been through a lot. He's been through the big media stuff in Toronto. He's been on numerous different teams. He knows the league in and out, and he could shelter a guy like Levi, especially because Levi played so well in the AHL last year. They can keep him down in the AHL. He can keep growing his game. As you can see, last month, Devon Levi's PSA 10 Young Guns sold at a low point for around 39 USD. One recently sold for 70 USD. I think that trend could continue as long as he is playing up in the NHL. AHL. If he gets sent down right out of training camp, I think his cards could definitely drop in value. It just depends what Buffalo's plan is. Are they going to shelter Levi in the AHL? Do they plan on running a 3-goalie system? That's also a possibility. We just don't know what's going to happen with Buffalo's goaltending. But if Buffalo makes the playoffs and Devon Levi's the starter, that's some definite upside. That would interest me. All right, before we get on to number 3, if you guys do me a big favor and please consider subscribing. It's completely free. You can change your mind at any time. If you enjoy, drop a like on this video. It really helps me keep making more videos like this because it pushes the video to more people. Comment down below anyone I may have missed. My list is not the right list. It's just my list. And yeah, going on to number 3 here, we have Connor Bedard, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He is trending upwards, and that's not really a surprise. The reason I say it's not really a surprise, considering all the moves Chicago's making and the season Bedard had last year. He took home the Calder Trophy, 61 points in 68 games, and Chicago is really doing an accelerated rebuild. You can see by their moves in the offseason. Of course, the draft, they pick up some decent prospects, but really what interested me was free agency. They go out and get a guy like Tyler Bertuzzi, a guy like Teuvo Teravainen. They bring back TJ Brody. These are guys to win now and to shelter these young guys. I think Chicago's trying to get better sooner and accelerate this rebuild because they have Bedard. Because they got lucky and drafted Connor Bedard first overall, they think that they can win. And I don't know if they can win next season and make the playoffs, but definitely I could see them in the playoffs in 2025-26. I could definitely see that being an outcome if they make the right moves, and I think they're going to be a lot better next year than they were this year. When looking at the graph, it could be similar to McAvoy's graph, where it is just a spike sale. One recently sold for $950 US, and a low point of last month, there was one around $700 US. So it could continue to go up, or this could be a spike sale, but Bedard's cards will always have value. All right, coming in at number 2 is going to be a guy that kind of declined in value last season, and I don't know if it was justified. It's Kirill Kaprizov in the Minnesota Wild. I think his young guns declined. Now, someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong last season, because he got off to a very slow start, and then he just kind of turned it on right at the end. But Kirill Kaprizov is the heart and soul of this Minnesota Wild franchise, and yeah, I kind of expect his young guns to continue to trend a little upwards or stay the same, kind of around where it is now, because he is definitely the heart and soul of this offense. As you can see, looking at his stats, he had a pretty good season still. Like, he put up 96 points in 75 games. I just think Minnesota missing the playoffs really hurt Kaprizov cards, and he hasn't had any playoff success yet in his career. So maybe that's why his market hurt so much last year, but he's trending upwards now. Now, when I look at these graphs for trending young guns, I look for a steady climb upwards like this Kaprizov graph. I usually don't look for those like spike graphs like the McAvoy and Bedard's, but like I said, tough for July to find some young guns this month. But yeah, it looks like Kaprizov's had a steady climb. He had a low point last month of 99 US, and one recently sold for as high as 138 US. I think this climb could continue. I think he's one of the best offensive players in the league, and yeah, I really like Kaprizov. All right, coming in at number 1 is actually somebody surprisingly really similar to the Devon Levi situation. It's Dustin Wolf of the Calgary Flames. Obviously, the main reason his young guns is trending is because of the Jacob Markstrom trade to the New Jersey Devils, and Dustin Wolf looks like he's the main front runner to be the starter next year in Calgary. Calgary heading towards what looks like to be a rebuild. Probably not going to be very good next season, but it looks like Dustin Wolf is the favorite to be the starter as of right now. As you can see, looking at stats from last year, he kind of struggled in the NHL a bit, but he really dialed it in the AHL with a 922 save percentage and a 924 in the playoffs. I think he's going to be their starter heading into the next season because his only competition really is Dan Vladar. Now, if Vladar somehow really impresses during training camp, who knows? But I think Dustin Wolf will definitely have a roster spot unless they go out and add another goalie. Looking at Wolf's graph, we can see about a month ago, one sold for 43 US and one recently sold for as high as 84 US. Now, that's definitely a big increase, I'm guessing because of the Markstrom news. And yeah, I don't know what Wolf's cards do going into the next season. I think it depends how well he plays. Depends how well Calgary does. I don't think Calgary's going to do very well, so I'm not crazy about buying Dustin Wolf this offseason. I just don't think Calgary's going to be a very good team unless Jonathan Huberdeau has some crazy bounce back or something else happens. They didn't really add a whole lot. They added Mantha, but yeah, not too crazy on Calgary. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below if I missed anyone. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel. Completely free. Change your mind anytime. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.